Greetings, y'all. So, it's convenient that they send me this woman to suck my blood and do all manner of wickedness to me. Sexual black magic, essentially one form of espionage or another, collecting intelligence, and hindering my financial life from being able to stack gold and silver. I hadn't stacked any gold and silver our entire marriage. I had to sell what silver I had. Okay. But from the day she left till now, I have stacked gold and silver. Okay, because I've been able to, because the curse is removed. When I say that my life was cursed, I'm not joking you. When you hear the full testimony about it, you will understand. Okay, it's like I don't even know how to say it without sounding crazy, but it's like, part of the effect of this happening, and thank God for the mercy for it to have ended when it did, so I could prepare as soon as I could and as fast as I could. I'm not making a killing here, you know what I mean? But it's like part of the effect and goal was keep me from, because I was hardcore stacking gold and silver before I met her. Like, I had 5 pounds of silver, at least 5 pounds of silver, and some gold and whatever else. And this is happening right now, y'all. Like, I should have been stacking the past 5 years, but let me play this video for y'all real quick. This is a dude out of Canada. I'm subbed to a lot of Canadian people now because I was married to a Canadian for 4.5 years. So-called Canadian. Who the hell knows what she really is? So anyways, you see what it says right there, US dollar in free fall. Okay, so this is him making a citation about, his name's Chris Sky, by the way. So he's making a citation from Bank of America. Okay, and I don't know if any of y'all saw the State of the Union address, or where Biden was just going on and on about how good the economy is. And it's just like, those are just flat out bold-faced lies. Like, the economy ain't good, and every motherfucker in the country knows it, because when they go to the grocery store, they feel it. Just the grocery store alone. It's like you spend $100 and you get 3 things. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's an exaggeration, but damn near. If you're going to buy anything bulk, yeah, that's it. And I'm not talking about real nice bulk. I'm talking about sort of bulk. You know what I mean? Instead of a 1 pound box of cereal, it's a 2 pound box. Big deal. And you walk out of the grocery store with 3 things, it's $100. You walk out with a week worth of groceries for real, like that. All the foods that you should be eating. Not doing anything too fancy, but mostly organic and food you should be eating. Well balanced diet, a little bit of everything: fruit, vegetables, meat. Even a nice treat like ice cream or something like that, real ice cream. And you're talking about $200 for one person, let alone a wife or a child. I mean, I gotta eat a lot. I don't know about y'all, but I'm hungry all the time. I'm always hungry. And I have super high metabolism, and I work and physical hard labor. So even when I'm not working a lot, I gotta eat a lot. So they can't sit here and tell us the economy's doing good. I don't know how many of y'all are Americans, but I'm American, and this shit is crazy here. You know what I'm saying? It's like every time I go to the grocery store, the prices are raised. I'm not even exaggerating. I've watched a box of organic shredded wheat kashi cereal go from, I think it was like $3.65 to $5, sometimes $5.50 within the last year or less. Probably more like less than a year. Okay. And you don't even get a whole pound with that box, I don't think. I got a box of it right here. Let me see. I'm not repping for them or nothing. It's just I'm in boondocks, so I don't have an organic grocery store here, so I gotta get what I can. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a little over a pound. It's 16.3 ounces. Okay. So $5. And we're talking about wheat here. It's not an avocado. It's not papaya. It's not a pound of ground beef. It's wheat that's grown at large, super incredibly large scales and wholesaled. And the government even subsidies wheat. So there's no reason, even if it's organic, should it be $5 for that box of cereal. Okay, now I'm going to play this video.
What's going on, everybody? Chris Sky here. And about a month ago, when I was in Mexico, I started telling you all how they weren't accepting American dollars as much as they were before. And I told you all about a little economic alliance called BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, now joined by 10 more Southeast Asian countries, as well as Saudi Arabia and more Middle Eastern countries. Well, they're all no longer using US dollars. And I told you that means the US dollar only has one place to go: down. That also means the Canadian dollar only has one place to go: down. And when I told you all there's even a possibility of a so-called collapse of the US dollar, I was called every name in the book. Well, somebody else agrees with me. In fact, Bank of America, the largest bank in the United States, I believe, has just issued a warning for 2024 where they say that the US dollar is the most fragile it's ever been, world reserves are at the lowest, debt is at the highest and rising by 1 trillion every 100 days, and the dollar is at risk of complete collapse. Don't take it from Chris Sky. Listen to Bank of America. I just told you over a month ago.
Alrighty. So I thought that was relevant after I had just talked to y'all about silver and gold, and I'm telling y'all, they want the World Economic Forum wants their agenda basically on its feet and ready to walk it out by 2030. That's like 6 years. Okay, so that's nothing. And then we got on, like I showed y'all, on the U.S. debt clock, in 5 years, gold will be at 12,000 according to the U.S. debt clock, and silver will be at 1,500 an ounce. So they want us to own nothing and be happy by 2050, I think, as in nobody will own anything at all, and they seem to want to push that for 2030 as well, but there's no way they're going to be able to accomplish that by 2030 unless they have some wild card up their sleeve, which I wouldn't doubt they did. But you don't want to be in that position of owning nothing, and they're about to pull the carpet right out from under everybody, and that's what they'll have. And they even have that propaganda film funded by good old Barack Obama, one of the Illuminati's finest puppets, about, what's it called, Leave the World Behind or whatever. I ain't never seen it or nothing, so I don't know the full context, but I've watched a couple videos about it, and they're basically painting the picture that everything's going to get shut off. Like, they kind of been painting that picture for a while, but see, they're going to turn all these amenities and conveniences off according to that narrative. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to happen. I'm saying it could happen, and they could pull that shit on us. And then The only thing that will work for money will be gold and silver, right? Because you don't have all this digital infrastructure anymore. It means you have to trade in person, buy and sell in person. And nobody's probably going to be sending gold and silver in the mail at that point because everybody's mail will be getting robbed. So keep that in mind. And then if Bank of America is saying what they're saying, that the US dollar is incredibly fragile, the only way to save the dollar would be gold and silver. And if you think they're not going to do that, you need to open your eyes, okay? It's possible Bitcoin could play a part in this whole picture as well. But the thing is if you can't touch it and hold it in your hand, get rid of it and turn it into something that you can touch and hold with your hand. If you got, I wouldn't, if y'all must leave money in your bank account for whatever reason, I wouldn't leave no more than what you need for what you need it for. Like if you need to leave it in there for bills that you got set on auto pay or some shit like that, I don't do none of that. I'm not in a bank. I'm not enrolled in any auto pay. I've been ready for 15 years, bare minimum, as far as like I'm not conditioned by all the conveniences and tech of today's world. I still have a cell phone. I know how to use a computer. I'm not completely born in a cave style, but I've purposely detached my life from all that. Never had a Facebook, you name it, you know what I mean? I've used Facebook, like in the very literal sense, used it, taken advantage of it without making it real accounts, because we know what Facebook is. It ain't no good. It's spy book, it's fed book, you know. But you see, this is all culminating to a head, and it's not going to just keep being okay, you know. It's not going to just be life as normal and it's going to keep rolling on. They didn't build all this up and brainwash everybody and show us the truth in movies of their dystopian desired future for no reason. They're trying to get it done. So it's a time of seriousness, and a lot of people will get frustrated because they hear people like us saying it's time to get ready, it's time to prepare, it's time to stack gold and silver, garden and vegetable seeds, buy some land if you can, get you a gun or more than one, couple, 2 or 3 guns, store some food up, say the things you need to say to your loved ones, and so on. We're just crazy, right? We're crazy for saying that. And people get frustrated with it because people have been saying it for years. Well, you got to think about things in Jah's merciful timing, because people get frustrated and they get sick of people saying it's coming, and it doesn't come. Well, it's because it's coming incrementally. It's gradually coming and has been for a long time. It's a train rolling down the tracks. See what I'm saying? And it can be stopped if a lot of people stand up against it, but that's another story. The fact is, the train is coming down the road, and people will just keep saying, oh, they've been saying that for years. They've been saying the mark of the beast is coming for years. They've been saying this is coming for... Well, in the scriptures, the way timing works, when it says a little season, the dragon is loose for a little season, it doesn't mean a literal season as in what we go through in our perspective of time, like we go through a winter and a summer and a spring and a fall. It didn't mean that, because that's a literal blink of an eye to us even, you know what I mean, let alone to Jah. So these prophetic warnings that come through his people that have eyes to see and ears to hear, that is for your mercy, that you have been getting warnings way ahead from 100 years back, okay, is to help you, so that you see that these people have been saying that this is the way it's going, and you see it is going this way. You can't deny it. And then you're embittered because nothing comes to a head, and these people are just bullshitting, and the world will continue as it has. That's the trick. That's why all these people have been warning and warning and warning, and now we're getting to the point where it's like, if you don't take heed with a serious level of haste, you're going to be shit out of luck. Not just when it comes to gold and silver, but when it comes to a lot of different stuff. Okay. Vaccines and shit too, like, they're doing something. Okay, and I don't know if they're going to do aliens, or if they're going to do another COVID-like scam, or if they're going to do war. They could do all of the above, you know. So if you have a bunch of cash money in your bank, you better turn it into gold and silver and leave the bare minimum in the bank. It's okay. It wouldn't be bad to stack some cash too, but because of the way cash is going, I wouldn't make it much more than a couple grand, because you'll turn around and turn that gold and silver into whatever you need it to be turned into. Some people are just going to say fuck USD altogether. They're going to say we want gold and silver. I already know people like that personally in my life, and I know people on YouTube that are truther channels who have said that, like Dabu7. If he's got his land set up, you know, and he's got a little community going, and somebody wants to come in to fellowship and trade, he ain't letting them in to trade unless they come with gold and silver, you know, period. And he even said not no petty little pinches of jewelry either, you know. It's got to be, you know, more than a 500 milligrams worth of gold. So anyways, that's interesting. The Bank of America said this, and then the BRICS thing is going on, and a lot of these other nations in BRICS are dealing with gold and silver now. Not straight up like it's outright. They're legal tender at this point, but they're heading that direction. China is buying up record amounts of gold. India is big in the gold and silver realm. Africa has a lot of stuff going on with gold, and Africa is where the platinum and gold is, the most of it. There's a guy in Uganda not too long ago that found that he had some ridiculous number, like $3 trillion worth of gold under his land, or maybe it was 300 billion. I don't remember. It was like above, you know, 999 million. It was above that. It was like a billion or more. I got something in the oven I gotta get out. But yeah, he found a bunch of gold, man, under his property. That was we're talking a shitload of money. Like that dude gonna be set, and his grandchildren and so on, unless he gets screwed out of it somehow. He gonna be set the rest of his life. No doubt about it. So I got shepherd's pie in here. See, I ain't got a wife no more, so I'm not a cook, you know what I'm saying? I like cooking every once in a while. I used to be into cooking, but you know, New World Order fire, when she wasn't a turd, she cooked for me. You know, and she slacked off a lot in her duty, because I'm the one paying for everything and working for everything, and she's selling her body and will be lazy sometimes, like wouldn't take care of me coming home from work, and was like, I'll be working my ass off all day, throwing fucking tree logs down into a truck or whatever crazy hard-ass labor for little pay I was doing that day to make sure we had what we needed. I come home from work, I'm like, I'm starving, you're gonna cook something for dinner? You know, and it'd be like, I don't feel like it. Will you cook? I would. Sometimes I would, and sometimes I would. I'd just be like, okay, I'll cook. Because I'm a sweet man like that. But after so long of that, I was like, you know what? Fuck you. You cook. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Like, I don't ask anything of you. You don't have to work. You don't have to make money. All I ask is that the house looks decent and that you cook. You know, that's all I care. You cook, and she's a good ass cook. So you know I was wanting it bad. She was a real good cook. Every meal she made me, I was happy with. There's probably only a handful of times where I was like, nah, this ain't good, girl. And it was usually a box of macaroni and cheese. She fucked that macaroni and cheese box up so bad. Every time it seemed like. But she can cook some real shit from scratch, like real good. And so I mean, if you're going to be married to me, you're going to be cooking. You know, there would be very little circumstances where I would be cool with my wife not cooking. You know, and my wife got to be a good cook. Period. That's what used to be. It's funny. It's good. It's good for jokes and stuff. But that's what used to be. You know, one of the traits people would look for in a good woman, that she could cook well. Because when you can cook really well, not only does it make your husband happy and make him sweeter towards you and appreciate you, but you can also change the mood of an entire room of people because your meal was so good. You can make them happy. You see what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I be coming home from work, I'll be ready to eat a hot meal with all the fixings in it. But she be slacking on that shit sometimes. It was pissing me off. I'm like, I do all this work and then you come home and you can't even have dinner ready for me? Like, what the fuck? It's because she was busy fucking doing all this shady, perverted bullshit behind my back sometimes. And the more time went on, the more it was just like she didn't give a fuck about me. She didn't care about anything. She would pretend like she did sometimes. She didn't give a fuck, though. I mean, am I wrong here? Pretend like you're my wife for a second. I'm working myself to fucking death. And we don't have a lot, but we always have what we need because I'm always working myself to death. And God provides. Now, I'm not cursed anymore, so it's not as bad as it was. So it's not so bad, but let's pretend like we were as poor as me and New World Order Defier was. And I'm coming home every day from work. And we pretty much always got ice cream. We always got weed. We always got juice and milk and vegetables and fruits and meat and snacks, crackers, chips. Maybe not always chips. Chips are a ripoff. Cookies. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Plenty of weed. Oh, all the CBD you could possibly need. You name it. Okay. And sometimes it was skimpier than others. Oh, half and half, and coffee, and all the things. And I'm coming home from work. What would you do for me? Wouldn't you rub my shoulders a little bit, and dinner would already be ready, and the house would look nice? Maybe a couple hours worth of work. You do that for me, right? If she was my wife, if I was working myself to death. Is that abnormal? Am I asking too much? Was I too needy? Am I an asshole for expecting that? Or am I just too old world? She don't work. She ain't got a fucking lick of dollar, but she does got a lot of money selling my pussy. See what I'm saying? She can't even have dinner ready for me every single day, unless she's sicker than a dog or she's having a seizure, like a for real one that's not being hammed up. You know, like having the seizure when I get home from work or close to it. Then we're cool. I'll cook dinner. Okay. But am I crazy to have expected that? Maybe a massage too sometimes for me. Never got any loving. I get a kiss in the morning, goodbye. Sometimes I get a kiss when I get home. It's so weird to think back about kissing her goodbye every day in the morning before I go to work. It's so weird to think about that because it's like, why? It's the weirdest relationship I've ever been in because I don't really remember one time, except for the time I got her pregnant, thirsting for making love with her. Like, you know, that feeling you get where you're just like, you just want to kiss every inch of your spouse. You just want to, like, I don't want to get into detail. I'm just saying, like, you just want to just lay it to them every way you can. You want to smell them. You want to taste them. You want to everything. Okay. Every one of you who's had real love, you all know what I'm talking about. I don't think I remember even having that experience, except for the one day where I got her pregnant. And I'll tell you what I was thinking that day. I was thinking, this is my wife. And we've been through a lot of bullshit. And she's still right here by my side. And we've just been through nothing but trash after fucking trash after trash. And it's like somebody's trying to kill us. And trying to poison us against each other. And trying to poison us against the Lord. It's like they're just trying to break us down. And that's what I was thinking. And I was like, this is my woman. And she's still right here by my side. She's still right there. She might be a little rough around the edges and a little edgy and grouchy because we just went through the fucking ringer. And, you know, it's about halfway through our marriage when I got her pregnant. So we're talking about 2 years at this point. I'm just thinking, she's my woman and she's here. She stayed. She's stuck by my side. I'm getting this girl pregnant. She's the one. I love her. How deceived was I? Gosh. I mean, can you even fathom it? The level of my sincerity, hers pales in comparison. It is absolute fraud. I mean, there's got to be some sort of criminal element to this whole experience as an organized crime. And as well as to present yourself in such a fraudulent way to somebody you are having a marriage contract with. Gots to be criminal. It's got to be illegal, as in they should be able to lock her up for it because of how much effect on my life it entails. Even post-marriage. Like right now, I'm in this place where I'm at, which is a lowly place because of her. I've been uprooted from where I had rooted myself in Iowa and scattered abroad the whole goddamn country and end up in a fucking RV without running water, without a working toilet. And I get paid $10 an hour to do hard labor. Hardcore shit. Like, and I can't even blame the boss for paying me that little. Because it's just, that's all I can get where I'm at. I'm right here, just holding the fort down, you know, like, this is where my life ended up. And I'm grateful for everything Jah has done for me and provided for me. And I'm grateful that Jah has, once this woman is gone and I figured out who she was, he lifted the curse. And things have gotten better. But can you understand how much time it's going to take me to repair my life and to get myself back to where I'm in a real house and I'm growing cannabis and working a landscaping job that pays me more reasonably, and stacking gold and silver, looking for a wife. I'm basically stuck where I'm at. Like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know where to go. She has ruined all my friendships. All my friends and previous bosses and coworkers she slept with. So I don't know where to go. If I wanted to go be in that cult I've been telling y'all about, that Hebrew cult, I couldn't do that because she slept with the cult leader. So that would be a desperate choice, of course. So I'm up for war against this fucking woman, if that's what you want to call her. She didn't even deserve that title. And whoever assigned her to do this, and whoever's involved. It's not like I had much in life anyway, and they took what little I had. You know, I lost a best friend because of her. I got nothing. I got nowhere to go, no one that I can trust. It's frustrating. And it's double frustrating because she's the one I trusted. She was the one I leaned on, you know. She's the one I needed. And this is what she turned out to be. A fucking prostitute. Demonic super prostitute. Super hoe. Super hoe. Super hoe. I feel really lonely, and people are about, you'll be over it, you'll be over it. This is not something I can get over. I'll never be over it until something is done about it. Because as long as something's not done about it, there's another man out there who's going to be a victim to her crazy fucking shit. People be like, she has mental health problems. No, that is not mental health problems. I lived with her for 4.5 years. It ain't mental health problems. She's choosing this. And a demonic possession don't count as a mental health problem. It counts as a demonic possession. I mean, when you actually hear another creature's voice speak through your friends or your wife, or like mine was my wife, right? And you hear it say, you know, it's walked the earth 375 years, but it's got to be in this whore's body. And it's looking down, as in the woman is looking down at her own body, and the demon is looking through her eyes and looking at the body. I mean, that's some shit out of the X-Files. That's some shit out of that's why I changed my channel name up a little bit. This shit is out of a goddamn movie. And I'm the kind of dude that's just so brazen and hardcore that I'm actually calling for war against the beast system straight up on all my channels. And then this happens. Like, just go ahead and go back and put your head up your own ass, you naysayers. Go ahead and go back and just bend over, stick your head back up your own ass, for those who think that I'm just over looking at it and just overanalyzing it, and this is just it was just some normal shit. No, motherfucker, it was some hardcore deep shit. Okay, so don't talk to me. Go ahead and just stick your head up your own ass and just leave it there. With all the evidence I presented, with all the testimony I bore, that's where your head belongs. You can go live in your over-practical world where you can't accept the fact that something supernatural or unexplainable could have some significance in a real life fashion, as in like the X-Files. Something unexplainable happened, but it's explainable based on the scriptures. And the book of Enoch, and the book of Jasher, and the book of Esdras, and all the texts that they've stolen out of the scriptures to give us understanding about the nature of reality, and demons and fallen angels. And why do you think when Haile Selassie spoke with Eisenhower comes out and says, because they spoke privately, and Haile Selassie let him have it, okay? Haile Selassie just laid it out, from telling them everything about the fallen angels, making contracts with governments and demonic powers, running amok of the earth for 400 years, and how there is this global conspiracy to serve Satan, right? And the leaders of the world have been sold out to it. And everything else he needed to tell them, that was part of it, though. Because Eisenhower comes out and says later, right after meeting with Haile Selassie in the Boston, I can't remember the name of the newspaper, but it's in a Boston newspaper, right? Comes out, or maybe it's a Chicago newspaper. Chicago or Boston, I can't remember. But Eisenhower comes out and says, I just received an education of an elementary nature concerning the nature of reality itself from Haile Selassie. And he also said things which I should have already known. That's what Eisenhower said. None of this stuff is a coincidence. It's all real, and it's all really happening. And y'all can go back into your house and stick your head right back up where it belongs and pretend like none of this shit is real, and like there isn't demonic forces and intelligence assets and agencies who do these things to all mankind on a high level and on small little people level. Okay? Like I said in a previous video, it's arrogant to think the world revolves around you, but it's just as foolish to think that you're of so little significance that you don't matter to backle over your soul and your actions and your behaviors and what you choose to do with your life and what you choose to believe and have passion for. Because it does matter. That's why these things happen. But God is going to restore me tenfold in the name of Yeshua Messiah, Jesus Christ. And there's nothing wrong with the name of Jesus, by the way. Nothing wrong with the name of Jesus Christ whatsoever. Nothing wrong with the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Those are his names. We're going to talk about in the next video, exposing a very sly psychological operation called the Sacred Name Movement, the Hebrew Roots Movement, Hebrew in general, just the term Hebrew in general. There's nothing wrong with the term Hebrew, and the true believers are Hebrews and the true Israelites are Hebrews. I'm not saying anything about that. We're going to talk about these movements, and I've been wanting to talk about them, and I've talked about them on my first channel and my second channel and my third channel, and been exposing it for a long time. But I just noticed John Pounders from Now You See TV just posted a video with Dan Badondi about it. And so we're going to play that video, and we're going to discuss some things that to add to their testimonies that I've seen firsthand in my own accounts. And I've been to a lot of these quote-unquote Hebrew feasts, right? And that's where I experienced this, and I've experienced a lot of crazy stuff with these people, okay? So we'll talk about that in the next video. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off here. Y'all know the truth about the dollar. Get to it. Get your gold, get your silver, get your platinum. And I ain't telling you because I got something to gain from it, other than my friends and brothers and sisters and and Messiah to have wealth, so we can all help each other when the time comes. Alright. In the name of Jesus Christ, Yahshua Messiah, I'll be blessed. I'll be putting that Hebrew exposed video up tonight or tomorrow.